And we are live. Hey, Concrete.
Hey, Danny girl, what's going on?
Girl, it's a Wednesday. I'm looking forward to
Yes.
the weekend, but it's not like I have anything to do.
Yeah, it is. It's hump day. Definitely Wednesday, even though for me, all of my days are running together. So, even though I'm off on the weekend, I'll usually pick up my laptop and do some work on the weekend, or I've been keeping busy. So all of my days are running together, but I ain't mad. I am not complaining.
I understand. I understand. Same here. Um, it's just been a day. Nothing too much going on. Have you ever heard of a birth chart before?
Is it related to your horoscope sign?
Yes,
Yeah,
actually it
I,
is.
I know what it is. I don't know like the in depth. I don't have an in depth knowledge of it, but I do know what it is.
Okay. Well, I had my son's birth chart done today.
Did you really?
Yes. That's kind of been my new thing with the
Mm-hmm.
astrology stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun. Lots of fun. And like I don't think people when you hear of astrology, when a lot of people hear of astrology, we immediately go to like our regular zodiac sign. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like a birth chart is actually like getting a snapshot of what the
Like a picture of what your life has in store for you, basically, right?
or what the planets look like, but yes,
Oh,
because it'll tell a lot about you. And
okay.
so me and Curlin talked about it, and I decided I wanted to get Solomon's done, so I got his done,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty interesting.
Did you talk to him about it? Like Solomon, does he have any understanding of what it is? And
The only thing he knows is that he's a Scorpio, and
uh,
so
mm-hmm.
with him being a Scorpio, trying to get to understand his energy a little bit, and he has a lot of a lot of Scorpio in his chart.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of caused alarm in me.
Oh.
Yeah, Scorpios are hell on earth.
Listen, child, I stay away from Scorpios. I know.
Really?
Yes. And I will hold up a crucifix. Come
Oh,
my way.
really?
Stay back, Satan.
My
get
mom was a
get thee
Scorpio.
behind me, Satan. Do not
Girl, my mom was a
listen.
Scorpio,
Uh-uh.
and
My best friend growing up was a Scorpio.
honey,
She was a piece of work.
facts.
And I dated a Scorpio once, and that's all I'll say about that. But I will hold up my crucifix, my ankh, and be like, "Get behind me, Satan." Mm-mm.
um, yeah, he has a lot of Scorpio in his chart. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh shit. Um, I need to be as prepared as I can. I mean, he's a really sweet kid, but it's a really sweet kid, and he doesn't give me
Mm-hmm.
any issues like outside of normal kid shit. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, whew, but what's there to come because he's a Scorpio and with a lot of Scorpio in his chart.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Man,
people,
listen, you go a lot of heartache. That's what's to come. Not from him. He's gonna be the one giving the heartache. So they're gonna be like, Miss Danielle,
girl,
is Solomon
literally,
home?
so
Ringing your doorbell
literally,
off the hook.
literally is what she literally was like, girl, girl,
Listen, I already know.
girl.
Like, I know how Scorpios are. That is scary. But it's funny because in the comments I saw some, hey, 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 to all the black people in the comments. I'm sorry, I wasn't ignoring anybody, but hey, hey, hey. Someone in the comments said, "Is this witchcraft?" And it's funny that they equate you know like astrology and reading your birth chart and your being into your astrological sign and
Uh-oh, you're kind of
kind
fading in and out
of
a little
digging
bit,
a
honey.
little deeper to witchcraft. You hear me,
Yeah, now I can.
Danny?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. But I said it's funny how they equate, being into astrology as some sort of witchcraft, some sort of voodoo or like you're playing with
Girl,
black
and
magic or
if you
something.
knew anything about the Bible, you would know that the Bible is full of spells.
Yeah.
Full of spells.
The
So
crazy thing is that is the white man's doing. We practice voodoo and we called out to ancient
yes.
spirits and we mixed potions and stuff before we came to this country. And for those who believe that there were people of African descent already in this country, like that's part of our culture. It's not this evil thing that the white man makes it out to be, but of course we're conditioned to believe it is.
Yes. Yes. So
But yeah, that's interesting, child. Very, very interesting. I want to get mine done. I don't know. I'll be having so much going on, but I don't want it to. I'm one of those people. I'm a control freak, so I don't want it to tell me something that I don't want to hear. Like,
I don't think
mhm,
so you have some people that do birth charts,
mhm,
and I think most are surface level.
mhm.
Most are surface level. So you're not gonna really get anybody that's gonna tell you all like the really, really bad shit
Right.
that can possibly happen in your lifetime. Most aren't gonna tell you that. So I think that I think most people are on the safe side, but
Okay.
it will give you a lot of aspects to your personality. And it'll kind of tell you like why you like to do the things you do. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I
Okay.
think that that's really interesting. Or like I've had mine done and mine, ooh, honey.
Was it
um
insightful?
very, very, very insightful. And I guess I would say that it doesn't make me feel so frantic as I felt before about life. And I think I was very, very frantic about life, about
Mhm.
everything that was happening or where my choices led me. And then
Mhm.
didn't make the worst of choices, but they weren't the best of choices either. But everything that you go through is sort of whatever path you're supposed to be on. And
Right.
sort of, and it goes to your life purpose and where you should be. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I think it did me a lot more good than it did any harm. And it's not like, well, I won't get into all that, but
Mhm. Carlin,
show.
Carlin, I'm gonna get the contact information from you because I definitely am interested in doing it. But I think it's interesting. We'll have to do something on, like, I know you've been talking about doing something on an esoteric level, and I think that would be something good to do, an interesting show surrounding
Yeah, I
that.
think it would be. I think it really would be. I think it would be really, really fun too, because
Hmm.
astrology can be really fun, especially like when it comes down to dating and stuff. Like um prior to Kerlin, I said I would never date another Sagittarius, and I'm a Sagittarius. I would never date another Sagittarius.
Wait, Carlin is a Sag too?
No, girl, Kerlin's a
Oh,
Leo. Praise God.
oh, he's a Leo. Okay, good. Mhm.
Yes,
Y'all Sages can be a piece of work. I'll just say that.
honey, honey. Never, never, ever again, honey. I was like, ooh.
It's so funny when you hear these different things about your astrological sign, and like, because I'm a Gemini and I hear so much bad stuff about
Mm.
Geminis, and I'm like, that is so
I
wrong. I'm
don't,
like
I
the
think,
sweetest person in the entire world, like
no, but
literally, and my natural
listen,
disposition is to be sweet. Hmm.
listen. Geminis are actually some of the nicest people that you will ever meet, will give you the shirt off their back, will do a lot for you.
Facts.
But now if you fuck around,
But
if you cross over to that other side,
yeah,
because there are two sides, y'all are two fucking people in the same body.
that's true.
If you fuck around and cross over to that other side, y'all are vindictive, hateful, mean,
Listen,
trifling,
it's
will
like
cut
night and
you,
day. It's like
girl.
night and day. That's what the difference. Like with Gemini's, it's like you won't even recognize it. You'll be like, "This is not the sweet person that I got to know that's been like." But
Honey.
when you know what I mean, cross us, it's you see a completely different side, and that's where the two sides come in at.
Yes, yes. My best friend is a Gemini, or one of my best friends. She's a Gemini. And honey, literally one of the best friends you can have. But
Yeah, I'll do anything for my friends.
when I say that bitch is crazy as a box of rocks, I love her to death. But I feel like, oh my
You're
God.
wrong. You
I
are
think
wrong.
now what I think that and Sages and Geminis are polar opposites of each other, right? And so with that opposite polarity, we do share a lot of the same we have a lot in common. Sages can be nice, but we ain't gonna do a whole lot of work. We ain't gonna work for
You
a
know
whole.
what? I think that we like Sag and Geminis complement each other, because where a Sag won't give, a Gemini generally will, and it's an interesting dynamic. Sages are you guys are like stuck in your ways. You kind of have like a man in mind,
Yes.
whereas Geminis are a bit more flexible.
Yes, very much so. Seems to be, well, no, I actually think both are a little are both open-minded. Oh,
Mhm.
VAP's an Aquarius. I got an Aquarius moon. Hey, VAP.
Aquarius is something else too. I attract a lot of Aquariuses. They are,
Goddamn,
woo,
emotionally detached asses.
yeah,
Child.
they are, but they are like they have to be the center of attention. They are like, oh my gosh, over the top.
SW1 is the Capricorn. Oh, that's the boss bitch. She gonna run it. She gonna run
Yeah,
it.
I have a friend that's a Capricorn too, but she's
Um, they
anything you
gonna be
want done, she can do it and get it done well.
Yeah, they gonna have some money. I have never met a broke Capricorn female. I'm not saying that none is broke, but I ain't never met one that was broke or that wasn't on her shit. Let me see. A Taurus, third war says he's a Taurus. Taurus, very, very, very stuck in their fucking ways, honey. I
You know
dated
what else
Taurus.
about Tauruses though? They are loyal to a fault.
What?
Like you ain't gonna find nobody
Because they're
more loyal than
stuck.
a Taurus.
They don't like to do anything new.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they hate change. Absolutely hate change.
They ain't gonna change for shit.
Mm-mm.
D. Anderson says he's a Virgo. Oh, a goddamn type A personality. It's got to be in this order or it's not right. The fucking perfectionist. Yeah, honey. Damn, Virgos are a hot mess too. But Virgo women are fun. They're fun as shit.
Yeah. Okay. So this is we can see that this is something we must do, and we'll have to schedule it soon because, yeah, I think this will be a very interesting topic to discuss. Do
Yes,
something
honey.
on signs. But about
Yeah,
our topic tonight, though,
honey.
yes, I
The
think that this
value of a good woman. What's up?
I think this is going to be a good show. Yeah, talking about the value of a good woman. And I
Wait a minute,
definitely
girl.
have.
That goddamn Tie City is a Gemini. Figures. I should have known.
Ah!
Okay.
Don't do that.
Makes
Don't do
sense.
that. Don't do don't do that. You are completely wrong for that. Um, but I think this will be an interesting show. So we the notion that Black women are bad people is constantly one that's constantly pushed in this space. But we're going to talk about good women and, the value of a good woman. If there is any value, if there are good women that exist within the Black community, and, what are the benefits? We're going to chop it up and talk about, the benefits of a good quality woman.
Yes, honey. Yes.
So
Um,
go ahead.
So when we talked about this topic,
Mm-hmm.
I always kind of go back to the space of, well, dealing with people within this space and the men that's within this space. And I'm talking about the manosphere, and I'm not talking about everybody. Um, it kind of makes me wonder, have men actually had the experience of a good woman outside of their mother and family members?
That's a fair question. And I'm not even including their mother and family members because for some, even their relationships with their mother and family members, play into their views of black women being bad people. So some, their relationships with their own, immediate family members, kind of is part of what led them to believe that, either there aren't any good women or it played a part in their negative experiences with black women.
Right, right, right. And so when I get to thinking about that, I'm like, okay, um, the men here, I don't know. I kind of wonder, and I'm like, okay, if your mom was a good woman and you saw that example, or you've had to come across a good woman at some point in your life, um, I don't know, because it's like, now I think about good women,
Well,
and
do you
then
think there's a possibility that they haven't, though? Do you think that there is a possibility that some of the men, some black men have never come across a good woman, at
you
least a good
know,
black woman?
so the optimist in me tells me that everybody has some good in them.
Oh, I
Um,
agree with that.
sometimes, and it's not a lot. Well, about half and half. Sometimes I feel like the expectations are exceptionally high for.
Mm. Well, you're gonna have to elaborate on that.
Well, it's because sometimes I feel like the men want perfection from women.
Ah, I see. Okay.
And so when it sounds like they want perfection from women, now don't get me wrong, you're attracted to what you're attracted to, and I feel like you should go to what you're attracted to. If you're attracted to somebody, attraction is a big deal. But it's like, this might be fucked up, but it is what it is. Sometimes it just seems like the expectations are hella high for what a guy is saying that he can bring to the table. And what we're
Uh-oh.
coming in for,
You gonna get pushed back on that.
it is, and it is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay.
I'm not sick of it. Yeah, I'm good. So, and I kind of look at it like most guys think, if I'm able to provide
Mm.
and I don't have a criminal record,
Ooh, yes.
automatically makes me a good guy.
Okay, go ahead and preach then. Because you are preaching, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Um, that seems to be a common misconception that if I don't have a criminal record and I am able to sustain myself, or I have a fairly good job, then that I'm a good guy. However, you rarely hear a discussion surrounding the character of the men. Like people, they'll say, oh, women are overlooking the good men, and women just want to bypass the good men, and
Right.
men, but generally the basis of the claim is, they're overlooking men who are, have a job and are, seen as decent daddies, but
Welcome to our
nobody's talking about
cookies
their
and gray
character.
rays, honey.
Right,
That's
right,
all
right.
we want.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's it. That's all. And I think that, you bring about an interesting point, because I think that's a fair question. Like, first of all, have these men been exposed to good women? And though for those that have, I would venture to say um, it probably has not happened all that often in their lives for so many of the men, specifically in this space, to have such negative views of black women. Maybe they don't come across good black women every day. I've heard the notion that, you know, the good black women, and I want to know your thoughts on this.
Mm.
The good black women that exist are likely the 20%, meaning 80% of the black women are not good women. So what do you think about that?
Whew. Like I said, I think all women have, excuse me, all people have good and bad within them. And so don't get me wrong, I feel like standards, there should be a set of standards. If you're a person who doesn't want to date single mothers and you don't have kids, I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely believe that can be your standard. There should be
Right. That's
in
your prerogative.
if you want to date a beautiful woman that's a size 7 and or excuse me, a size 5, and she wants to date you, do get what you can. And now, and I would definitely encourage men to get the best woman you can get. I absolutely encourage that. But if you're sitting over here, hairline receding, stomach all fat, shit just ain't in order, personal, professional, whatever, you hear some of those men requiring that the woman be a dime and she has to be this and she has to be that and she can't be this and so you asked me a question and I kind of lost my train of thought and it just dawned on me that I lost my train of thought. So I got my pen and pad here. What did you ask? Concrete, are you there? BLS and holding, I think a lot of men want perfection. I think a lot of people want perfection. And so even with black women, a lot of black women, we bring a lot of bullshit to the table, but we want the 6-figure nigga with a Benz and the house and no kids and a big penis and him not to cheat and we want all of it. And it's kind of coming to the realization that the perfect person does not exist.
Mm.
And so, what are you willing to put up with when you're dealing with a person?
Mm. Well, you know they're gonna say we shouldn't have to put up with anything. But I was trying to answer your question. You asked me what was the question that I asked, and I was
Yeah.
asking about the notion that there's only 20% of the black women that are, good women, that are quality women, that are, you know, maybe wife material or worthy of entertaining on a serious level. What do you think about that?
For a man without kids, I would say that there would be that would be 20% for a man without kids.
See, I don't know. I don't understand because okay, there's 40 something percent of the black women. They always like to tout the statistic that there's I think 51% of black men that are childless, but there's like a 40 something percent um, of black women that are childless. So I mean, I don't think
Oh,
being having or not having a child. Like I'm sure that that's not the only classification for the men that don't have children and they are looking for a good partner. But you would say for the men who don't have children and they're looking for a woman who does not have children but also is quote unquote good, which we know good is subjective,
right.
that they are likely to only find that within 20% of the population of black women in
Yes.
this country. Okay.
Yeah, I would say they would have about 20%. They would have about 20%.
Okay.
But now if you're talking about guys who are divorced, who has baby mamas,
Who
shit
have
like
baggage,
that,
huh? Mm-hmm.
I think that number would be much higher because just because you're a single mother doesn't make you a bad person. You just, however you got there was however you got there. I don't think that
Right.
necessarily makes you a bad person. You're just a
Mm-hmm.
single mother or you're a single
Right.
whatever. But
Right. And we want to make that distinction too. Like, we're not saying single mothers are bad people, but for a lot of the men in this space, that is a standard that they hold. If a woman is a single mother and she's not I believe a divorcee, or if she's not a widow, then, they, for a lot of the men in this space, they won't consider dating her. So that's why we are bringing that up. So basically, if you have a child out of wedlock, you would be eliminated for the dating pool for a lot of the men in this space. That's what
Right.
they are alleging.
Right. Right.
So
Um,
what about the men who, okay, so let's say men who, are good men, but, they have children. Maybe they've been married before or had a long-term relationship or what have you. What percentage of the Black women in the US do you think would be, good women? Like,
60%.
as far as their 60%. So you're
Yeah.
saying 60%, whereas they're saying
60%.
20% of the
No,
women.
I would say 20% of men who, like I said, that don't have kids, that make the money, that has their shit together. That percent of men, if let's say if that's 40%, then they have about 20% of women to choose from. I feel like that they can
Okay.
get 20% of women to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
But now if the guy has kids, divorced, whatever, not together, whatever, then I would honestly say, because a lot of the guys complain about women being single mothers and
Mm-hmm.
the bad attitudes. I think the attitudes are kind of subsiding. I see the birth rate decreasing. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. It has.
so I think that men who have baggage, for lack of better terms,
Mm-hmm.
I think they would have a good 60%. Now, a lot of guys would be like, I got this.
Of course, they're going to disagree with that. And okay, so essentially, this is probably what they're hearing, that you're saying that men who have children or who have baggage can't have the same high standards that a gentleman who has no children, or any serious baggage. He can't have the same standards as guy A.
Um, Now, I'll be real honest with you. Now, if a guy makes a certain amount of money,
Mm,
and the money will probably balance it out for a lot of women. The money will
hmm
balance it out for a lot of women. If a guy makes a lot of money, then he can have a certain standard if he makes a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Okay.
But
Money is the great equalizer. So,
yeah, if he has a lot of money, he can have 20 kids with 20 different women. Some women will still,
unfortunately, but
yeah,
essentially we know, and we're being realistic, that that's the great equalizer for many women. For That's the great equalizer in our society. However, we just finished talking about character. So a man with money, just because he has money and just because he doesn't have any children too, like, that is not a testament to his character. I mean, that can be a testament to the fact that he's responsible. I'm sorry. That does not mean that he's a person of good character. Yeah,
right.
you have a good character trait, but that doesn't mean, maybe you're selfish, maybe you're arrogant, maybe you're a prick. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean that you're a great catch. That doesn't mean that you're, a good guy that any woman should be happy to have. I think
You
that.
know what's
Mhm.
crazy?
Yeah.
So, like, I'll think about professional athletes or like guys with a lot of money, and these men tend to cheat, right? They tend to. Um,
Right. Of course.
it's kind of interesting because when you talk about those types of men, it's like I think they get a pass for a lot of shit, and women are supposed to ignore it. You're not supposed to talk about
hmm
that. That's supposed to be off
hmm
limits. That's and I think that's kind of weird because guys with money can do a lot of things. And like you
hmm
said, it's a great equalizer, but there's no real testament to character. Like there's no like I look at Floyd Mayweather. So many guys think Floyd's a alpha male. And
Uh,
I find that ridiculously funny. Um, I just think that Floyd's a trick that got rich, and it's sad. It's really sad.
mm.
It's really sad.
He's a trick who can
Sad
fight
story.
good. He's skilled. He's
Yeah,
skilled. So.
yeah. But even Floyd could get a bad bitch with no kids. He
hmm
can get the so-called perfect woman, and I think that says a lot to a lot of women's character.
You know what? You know, and I'm careful. Like, okay, so I don't think perfection exists within human beings. However, but another point that I wanted to make is he can get the perfect dime, meaning, you know, she can be gorgeous from head to toe. That says nothing about her character, just like we just pointed out that a man with a lot of money isn't, you know, that's not a testament to his character. Just because a woman is banging, you know, that's not a testament to her character. But yes, he can virtually have just about, you know, any woman. He can have the women that in our society are deemed to be, you know, top tier women, as far as, you know, physicality goes.
Right.
Which is what men look for. You know, they're not concerned about your degrees and, you know, how far you've climbed up the corporate ladder and things like that. Like, they want a good looking woman, you know, as well as other
Do
things
you
too.
think,
But
okay, so with the shift of feminism and stuff
Mhm.
like that, do you think that that's actually changing nowadays? Because at one point, men did not care about a woman being educated. Then it became a one, you know, like guys don't mind women paying half the bills. I don't know about this space
Mhm.
or how guys feel about women paying half the bills and shit like that. I don't know how
Mhm.
y'all feel about that. I'm curious. I'm really curious about that.
Well, you know what I think? I think that I've heard, it's like, I do hear some information in this space that, you know, I research, and I find it to be very intriguing, and as a result I research it, and I'm like, okay, there's, you know, a lot of truth to that point that was made. One of the points that I've often heard in this space is that most, it's a statistic. Statistically speaking, Black men generally don't reach their peak until, I think, they're in their mid to late 30s. So I
Mhm.
think that a lot of the younger men are more of the mindset that they're looking for someone to go half with them, and that's because they're still trying to get established. Whereas I think once a man is established, you know, that's not a primary factor for him.
Yeah. You know, I keep thinking about in this space, if the guy says his woman doesn't have to pay half,
Hmm.
he's going to be considered a simp.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then, and then if a guy says he requires his woman to pay half, he may not be considered like a hoe. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Me
I
though.
mean, yeah, people, yeah. I think that there's a lot of shaming that goes on in this space. You know, like I said, we talked about on the last show, like, people consider it simping if you have if you marry and start a family, they consider it simp. Some people in this space consider it simping. So, you know, I just think
That's
there's a lot of
true.
shaming that goes on. So I don't pay too much mind to a lot of the stuff that's said.
Good thing to do. Good thing to do.
But
So,
yeah, we can
ready
go
to
ahead
get
and
up
open it
this
up
morning.
and, yeah, talk to the people and see what they have to say about the topic.
Oh Lord, child.
I know. I don't know if I'm ready because I'm kind of like, oh gosh. Um,
There ain't no such
let me
thing as
brace.
a good woman. And you
Let
know,
let me
Roger's
brace.
ass has
Oh,
got shit.
girl, look, I already know. Let me brace myself. Shoot, I don't know if I'm ready
Okay.
tonight, but
We're not
we
gonna
gonna
get
go
triggered.
ahead.
We're not gonna get triggered. We're not.
Yeah, listen, I'm
That
not
was
going.
my
I don't have a.
witchcraft for the day.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
feel
I'm
like
kidding.
expending a lot of energy tonight, so I'm not gonna get triggered tonight. But
Oh, good.
yeah,
I can get triggered then.
you can
You
get
know,
triggered
you
because
gonna play
I'm
good
like,
cop. I'm gonna play bad cop today.
tonight I'm just kind of like, whatever, you know, that's my mood. So whatever is, you know, unless somebody takes some direct shots at me, I don't see myself getting triggered this show. Don't hold me to that,
Not your
y'all. They
trouble.
be like, rewind the play, do the playback, because didn't you say you wasn't getting triggered?
No, I got you today. I'm gonna do it.
See,
I got you today,
I
honey.
I, I could have sworn I just heard you say you're not gonna get tricked.
Concrete's not
I'm
gonna
gonna
get triggered.
I said that I'm not gonna get triggered. I'm gonna try not to get
Oh,
triggered. I don't like
I'm
to make
okay,
I
doing.
don't like to speak in absolutes though, but I'm going to try not to. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like arguing, basically.
okay.
Oh,
Well,
see, that's concrete.
the,
Not me. I'm triggered. I'm already halfway there. So ready to fight, goddamn it. No, I'm kidding. Oh, speak to that. Hey,
what the
everybody. Hey,
What's going on? What's going on?
babe.
yeah, I was gonna say something.